네. Okay.
Yeah, hide and seek up here. 7 fast you like
Okay.
I took a bath today, so you don't have to cringe and hard. Especially when it smells like formaldehyde, that's my aftershave. Hold in. Come on down. Fill in the center here as well. Come on down. I see Al back there again, the half-staff in management. Welcome. Now, what would the tour be without a DVD presentation on the genuine 1929-minute flat screens here? But the little program gives you the background history, how Leo Lambert discovered the cave and waterfall. Then after it's over with, we will go over several important safety things. I do want to challenge you towards the end of the presentation is a photo of somebody world famous that came through here on April 1st, 1931. See if you can identify who he is.
Welcome to historic Ruby Falls. We're glad you're here. Your elevator brought you down 260 feet into the very heart of historic Lookout Mountain. Dominating the skyline of Chattanooga, rising up from the banks of the Tennessee River and stretching 80 miles southwest into Georgia and Alabama, Lookout Mountain features extensive cave systems, including the Lookout Mountain Cave. Throughout history, the natural opening of the Lookout Mountain Cave on the banks of the Tennessee River allowed easy access for early Native Americans in the region, whose folklore and legends included tales of miles of underground passageways, bottomless pits, subterranean rivers, underground waterfalls, and lakes. This same cave was used by both Union and Confederate forces during Civil War battles in the Chattanooga area, perhaps most notably as a temporary hospital. As Chattanooga became a large railroad hub for the South, it became necessary to construct a tunnel through the end of Lookout Mountain to provide rail access from Nashville to Chattanooga. During the construction of this railroad tunnel in 1905, the Lookout Mountain Cave entrance was intersected and sealed off from outside access. Leo Lambert, a young man living in Chattanooga, had played in Lookout Mountain Cave with his friend Jimmy Fuller for years. In 1923, Mr. Lambert began investigating the concept of drilling an elevator shaft into the side of Lookout Mountain in an effort to reach the old Lookout Mountain Cave and potentially reopen it to the public. On November 1st, 1928, the process of drilling the elevator shaft to open this cave was started, a prospect which carried a price tag of $25,000. A total of 3 crews working 8-hour shifts labored around the clock, garnering 5 feet of progress for every 24 hours of work. 2 months of drilling into solid limestone rock. At the 260-foot level, a gush of air rose up through the shaft as the jackhammer hit a void in the rock. Upon further drilling and inspection, a small opening into a previously unknown chasm was discovered. This opening, measuring 2 feet high and 4 feet wide, was immediately explored by Lambert, his friend Jimmy Fuller, and a small crew. They disappeared into the chasm and were gone 17 hours. Upon their return, Lambert excitedly told of the discovery of amazing geological formations and the existence of an enormous waterfall. A few days later, Lambert re-entered this newfound cave with his wife Ruby and christened this natural wonder with her name, Ruby Falls. Drilling continued to the 420-foot mark, where the shaft intersected the Lookout Mountain Cave as expected 90 days after drilling began. In total, 15,000 pounds of dynamite was used to loosen 5 million pounds of limestone, which was removed from the shaft one bucketful at a time. That same rock was reclaimed and used to build the Cavern Castle, as well as develop the cave trails. On December 30th, 1929, 14 months after drilling began, the Lookout Mountain Cave was open to the public, while construction of the newfound Ruby Falls Cave continued. On June 16, 1930, Ruby Falls Cave was open to the public and quickly grew to overshadow the popularity of the old Lookout Mountain Cave tour. In 1935, tours of the Lookout Mountain Cave were halted because of the enormous popularity of the Ruby Falls Cave and its unusual features, including, of course,
All right,
the
make sure I
waterfall
told you the
itself.
watch for comes up right after this one.
Since its grand opening, Ruby Falls has hosted
There he
millions of
is.
people from all corners of the earth. As you journey from this point,
Hey,
you will
Ruth, that's
eventually reach the spectacular 145-foot waterfall at a depth of 1,120 feet underground. This makes Ruby Falls the deepest commercial waterfall in the United States. Ruby Falls is also listed in the National Register of Historic Places because of its economic impact on the neighboring community. As you move through the cave, we ask you to please stay with your guide, follow the safety instructions you're given, and enjoy this natural wonder, Ruby Falls.
I've seen Island Nursing Home. I won't know my own name, but I can recite that a bit. All right, the elevator came down. It's still contained within the Rissell elevator shaft, though it is still drilled all the way down to that lower cave. Back in 2005, when they rebuilt the elevator the last time, since no one no longer went to that lower cave, they just stopped here at this level. Now, when Mr. Lambert first crawled in this cave, it was a lot narrower. It would take him 7 hours to cover the first 650 feet. Right here in this room, there's the ceiling, and there's the floor. So it does pay to be short and skinny and non-claustrophobic when we go spelunking. Do promise you this, we're not going to be down here 17 hours, and those with small children say yay for that one. Just a few safety things, though, we need to be aware of. Number one, there are going to be portions of trail that are going to be wet because the water's seeping through the mountain. So please watch your step and utilize the handrails when they are available. When you don't see metal handrails, you can stabilize yourself along the cave walls. Two, learn to duck your head, because twice you might repeatedly bashing your skull into limestone doesn't make it move. Plus, you're behind you last when I hear, ow! Do this, learn to out this way! I can't seem like Steven Tyler either, but if you don't, you'll make your own memory of Ruby Falls by the dent you put in your own skull. Lastly, three, when we do pass outbound groups, we always yield the right of way to them. So maybe portions of the tour may have stopped, put our backside up to the right side of the cave or to the left to facilitate their return topside. One thing is vital, and that is we stay together as a group. That way you hear the information at the stops as well as get the max exposure at the waterfall. To ensure that, we have Al today. He graciously volunteered to be our, well, Al got shorter. He's back there. He's going to be our caboose. He's got a red dot to make sure none of y'all fall into the bottomless abyss in the back. All right, you ready to see a waterfall? Yeah. Well, three of you are. All right, away I go.